All right, guys, we're going to be getting into the UFC. I don't even know what fucking card this is. Yeah, it's Vettori versus Dolidze 2. I don't know what number Vegas card we're on, but Vettori versus Dolidze 2. And it starts actually in 30 minutes here. I'm filming at 12:30 out here in Arizona. It's Mountain Standard Time, but because the clock shit, Arizona doesn't follow that, so we're basically California time. So you get the point. What I'm going to be doing is going through this full fight card, giving you guys my thoughts on who's going to win each fight. Another element that I wanted to add into this, and this is going to be a series that I am doing, is I, just like many of you who might be watching this video, am a huge fan of the MMA space. And because of that, most of the content that I consume is MMA content. And I actually am, I will say I'm a fan of kind of all of I would say I'm a fan of most of the MMA creators. I don't watch some of the ones like Bedtime MMA and The Weasel. Not because I dislike their content. I just really haven't been like, I don't know. For whatever reason, they haven't been recommended to me on YouTube. I just haven't seen a ton of their content. But I have watched, and I am a religious viewer of MMA Guru. I do watch MMA Joey, and I also watch Lucas Tracy. I would say I definitely lean more towards Guru and MMA Joey just in terms of religiously watching. I would say for the most part, in terms of the type of fan I am, I tend to have similar opinions to what Guru has. I think that I'm a big fan of finishers, whether it be on the feet or on the ground. So I tend to agree probably more with some of his points of view. Now, I will say I don't always agree with either side. And MMA Joey, on the other hand, I think he's definitely more of a grappling fan. He definitely likes grappling. I'm not as big of a fan of the grappling, so I probably disagree a lot on MMA Joey's picks or even just the things that he looks out for to fight. At the same time, though, I respect all of these creators because we're all, at the end of the day, we're all fans, and I am trying to get into this space myself with content creation. And I also appreciate the content that they put out because it allows me, as a fan, to have the content to consume before the next fight card. So part of this video is going to be going through not only my picks, but MMA Guru and MMA Joey's picks. I tried to find some picks from Lucas Tracy. I don't think he did a review of this fight card. So with that, I regress. We're going to dive into the fight card now. So first fight, we've got Eunice Dubin versus Carly Judice. Just to give you guys a heads up, Guru and MMA Joey picked Dubin. To be honest with you, I don't know Carly Judice that well. I did watch Dubin put that one muscle woman out cold, which was a great finish, especially in the women's division. And just kind of taking a look at some of the stats that Judice has. Looks like she lost a split decision in 2024 fighting Fernandez. I don't know her that well either. She has a lot of wins by finish. To be honest, I just don't know enough about her. I just think I know Joey and Guru picked Dubin. I would pick Dubin in this case solely off the fact that I just don't know Judice that well. And I do think Dubin's coming in at a pretty heavy underdog. So I would say, she's probably a good choice there. Next one, Nunes versus Priscilla Cachoeira. So Nunes, Guru has Nunes, and so does Joey. To be honest with you, if you go through their picks, I think there's only a couple fights where MMA Joey's picked a different fighter over Guru. Josiane Nunes, I've seen her fight several times. Dude, she's built like a gremlin. She's got that fucking Joaquin Buckley build. And rightfully so, she gets a lot of finishes by knockout. She has lost... Oh, fuck, dude. She lost to Chelsea Chandler. I remember that fight, actually. Chelsea Chandler surprised me because she went from being in the Get Out Challenge to like actually outboxing and basically just teeing off on Nunes, which was surprising. But Nunes there was this one, the Malecki, right? So Malecki was this highly touted kickboxer. Nunes went out there and starched her ass. So like, she surprised me with some of her wins and her ability on the feet. She's definitely got a shorter build. So I think that in this fight, Priscilla Cachoeira, Zombie Girl, Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think that I would have to go with Nunes in this fight. You know what? No, fuck it. We're going Cachoeira. No, you know what? I got to go Nunes. I think that that's the right pick. The next fight, Andre Lima versus Daniel Perez. I know Lima's the guy that I think he's got the bite tattoo, right? So he looked really good in his fights, but who has he fought? Perez, let's see, 17-6. He beat Alto Marino. He lost to Filo. He doesn't have many fights in the UFC. I don't know. I think Andre Lima's had a lot of fights that are very close and in decision wins. And honestly, he wasn't doing that great against
the guy that bit him. I think the guy that bit him, it was a pretty fucking close fight.
I'm going to go Perez on this one. I think that Perez, seeing his stats in terms of his finishing ability, perhaps he could get the upper hand here, and he's a huge underdog. So I'll go Perez on that one. Next one is Stephanie Luciano versus Sam Hughes. Both Joey and Guru picked Luciano.
But I will say,
Guru did call out on his video that Hughes is the type to, put a stop to any type of hype train that happens. I don't know, man. I feel like Sam Hughes will get this done. But I could be wrong. We'll see. I'll go Sam Hughes. Next fight, Carlos Vera versus Josias Musasa. I'm going to go Josias Musasa just based off of he's an 8-0 finisher, 6 first-round finishes, pretty solid fighter. Carlos Vera, 11-4, 1 win by knockout, and then submissions.
I like the
chances of the finisher going out there and getting it done, so I'm going to choose Musasa.
Next one, Suyong Yoi versus AJ Cunningham. AJ Cunningham's coming in at plus 455.
I think a lot of people have picked Su Young to win.
I just want to take a look at some of his background here. Looks like a lot of these fighters are really heavy in decisions, right?
Cunningham got knocked out next Ludovic Klein.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what?
I think people are rating Su Young Yoi a much higher. And sometimes when it comes to UFC, I don't like that. I feel like sometimes there's these underdogs who just go out there and smoke people. So let's go AJ Cunningham.
I'm picking on the opposite side of some of these choices. I think that some of the choices are probably very smart. And as you could tell, my focus for this video is more so to focus on, kind of comparing and contrasting like
these different creators and their choices to see, who's got better picks.
The next fight, Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Ryan Spann. I've thought Ryan Spann, I have felt like Ryan Spann could get this done. The one thing I will say though is you've got Cortez Acosta, he's got that pitching background, so he's got some heavy hands.
He's also very well touted in the heavyweight division. He fought against strikers that were much better and found a way to win. I actually like the chances of Acosta winning this fight over Ryan Spann. So I'm going to pick Acosta. I think Ryan Spann's a great fighter. He's fun to watch, but Acosta's got that heavyweight background, and he's fought at heavyweight much more, and so I think he's just got the upper hand here.
Now, I will say, though, Ryan Spann with a plus 140 underdog, you're not getting bad value in that regard, but I'm going to go Acosta. So the next fight, Sung Choi versus Kevin Vallejos.
I believe Guru, and by the way, Guru and Joey picked
Spann, and they both picked Vallejos.
Vallejos El Chino.
He's from Argentina. He's young, 23 years old, 10 wins by knockout out of 14. That's pretty solid.
And then Su Young Choi, 11-7.
He got knocked out by Trizano. Ooh, yeah.
I'm going to go Vallejos. I think that Su Young Choi, just seeing his knockout losses, I feel like going into a fight with a guy who's got several first-round knockouts, it's not looking good in that regard. So I'm going to go him. So Kevin Vallejos for that bout. The next one we've got Nurgoze versus
Ribeiro. I got to go with the Kazakhstani.
Ribeiro has power, but he's also just...
He's had some bad losses on his record, especially by KO. I think he got knocked out by...
No, that must not have been him. There's another guy that got knocked out by the curly-headed middleweight.
I can't remember his name right now. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with
Nirgozai. Next fight, Damone Blackshear versus Cody Gibson.
So, Damone
Blackshear has looked very good in his last fights.
However, he did get knocked out by Montel Jackson. That was a bad KO, and it wasn't that long ago either.
Cody Gibson, he's a crafty vet, man. That guy is he has quite the ability to pull shit out of the fire like Leon. I'm gonna go Cody Gibson on that one. Joey and Guru both picked Blackshear. I'm gonna go Cody Gibson.
Next fight, Alexander Hernandez versus Kurt Holobaugh. I fuck with Kurt Holobaugh.
I think that he's shown just a level of skill that it's much better than previous fighters. And I know he's had quite the grind, kind of getting back into the UFC from Ultimate Fighter. Alexander Hernandez is a great fighter, fun to watch. Obviously, one of my favorite moments of his career, actually, unfortunately, is the whole cowboy humbling situation. But I do fuck with Alexander Hernandez. He's a great fighter. He always looks so great. I think that he does struggle at times with cardio, which, you know, I can understand. I mean, I would never be able to do this shit myself.
So, Guru picked Hernandez. Joey picked Holobaugh. I think that in this fight, Hernandez has this ability to definitely close it out and finish Kurt Holobaugh. But I think Holobaugh has got that experience on his side. They're both very experienced in the UFC. I feel like Kurt Holobaugh is going to be able to impose his will and mix it up a little bit more than Alexander Hernandez. So I feel like Holobaugh will get the win in this fight. Honestly, though, I'm happy with either guy winning. I'm a fan of both. So we'll just see who takes the cake. Next fight, we got Chidi Njokuani versus Alexis Zaleski dos Santos. I have a feeling that Chidi's going to get the win here.
Looks like Guru picked Njokuani versus Joey picked dos Santos. I just think dos Santos is at the end of the rope here in terms of his age and especially in this lighter division. Chidi looked good at middleweight. He definitely had some big losses, though, in middleweight. But I do think that him being at welterweight now just gives him an even bigger size advantage. And he's also shown, and that size advantage, I think, is going to be playing into his favor, obviously, just being bigger. But another point that I would make, and this is, I think, something Guru called out as well, dos Santos has had trouble with some of the longer folks in that division, right? So he fought Randy Brown, and Randy Brown pieced him up pretty badly. So that type of style is going to be similar to what Chidi's going to bring. And I feel like Chidi's got that skill set with the MMA background and also his clinch game. I think Chidi's going to be able to pull this one out of the fire. However,
the one thing I will say about Chidi that's worrying is it's like he could be winning fights, but then suddenly I feel like when he loses that momentum or he gets gassed,
it ends up swinging heavy in the other fighter's favor and in a very expedited manner, right? Like he's had fights where he's winning. I think he was winning the RoboCop fight, if I remember. And then RoboCop landed a couple big shots and it was over. Like it swung the other way so fast. I kind of worry about that element. But I do think that Chidi will get the win. The last fight on the card, Dolidze versus Vettori. To be honest with you guys, I really am torn on this. I don't know who's going to win the fight. I do think that going into this, Vettori has shown such great durability and just, you know, ability to get through fights, especially tough fights. I just don't know where he's at, and I just think he's been out for so long and played with injury. I think Dolidze, the momentum is on his side in this case. I think Dolidze will find a way to get it done.
And on that fight, we got Dolidze, also picked by MMA Guru and MMA Joey. That is
my predictions for this card. I will go ahead and make a reaction to this card as well, and also be able to score, who had the better picks on this night. Hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for the next one, and also let me know if there's any other MMA creators that you would like me to see me track in terms of their picks and performance against these others. So once again, thank you guys for watching, and make sure to like the video if you enjoyed this, and also subscribe for the new content that I'll be posting. Thanks, guys.